Hello, welcome to this lecture video. Our topic is research methods. I'm teacher Melai, and let me first discuss the topics under or the outline of our topic. So first, we're going to consider the research process, followed by the problem definition, research design, sampling design, measurement concepts, and data collection and data sources. But first, in this video, we will consider the first one, the research process. So these are the processes involved. So first, the problem conceptualization, followed by drafting of proposal paper, that's chapters 1 to 3, collection of data, organization and presentation of data, and analysis and interpretation of data. So after the analysis and presentation of data, of course, you are expected to write the result and discussion. Hence, you can already prepare for your chapter 4 and then come up with your conclusions and recommendations. So you will do your chapter 5 if it is in chapters 1 to 5 research paper. And then also for other parts like the abstract, the table of contents, acknowledgements, educations, and also, of course, for the appendices part. So it can be, of course, that these appendices parts are already constructed in the process of doing the chapters 1 to 3. However, the final papers, final letters with the signatories will be placed also or will be compiled also in the final paper. And of course, you are expected to defend. So we have here defense and then editing. And the last one is dissemination. So that is, it can be presented or it can be published. So, or it can be, of course, also utilized. So if you notice in our left side of our screen, we have here reference writing, which is not included as part of the process, but it is actually part from the start until the end. So while you are still conceptualizing your problem, then you can already come up with your list of references so that it would not be difficult for you later to come up with the list of all the references after you're done with your research paper. And also, of course, with your crafting of a proposal paper. So you are expected to have your initial reference list. Okay, so let us move to the first step. So for the first step, which is the problem conceptualization, so this is the stage wherein you do not have yet your problem or you do not have your initial topic and you have to come up with one. So how will you do that? So problems can actually be obtained. It can be based on what you observe, or it can be your own experience. So what are your personal experiences? What problems did you encounter that you want to solve? Or it can also be from the experience of others or the problems encountered by others. Or it can also be that you were able to come up with that problem because of the attended conference, seminars, workshops, and other interaction, exposures with the environment. And then you can also come up with your problem if you go over some of researches similar to attending conference. Then you can also come up with literatures or studies. So you can find problems in the existing studies, particularly in the part of recommendation part in the last part of the research papers, and of course the others. In other words, for you to come up with your own topics or problems can be seen everywhere, anywhere. Okay, so let's move to the next one, which is the crafting of proposal paper. So when you already identified for your research problem, or initial topic, working title, then you can now come up with your chapter 1. So what will be the parts of chapter 1? So you have to make a rationale, statement of the problems or objectives, scope and delimitation, conceptual and theoretical framework, significance of the study, and the definition of terms. These are the common parts of chapter number 1. And then for chapter 2, so you will come up with a review of related literatures and studies, and also you're going to write synthesis. For chapter 3, so we have the research design, research locale, respondents, subjects or participants of the study, research instrument, and the data gathering procedure, and of course, the data analysis or the treatment of the data of your plan, how you will solve your research problems. Okay, so let's go back to chapter number 1. So rationale. So in the coming up or in crafting your rationale, so what do you, what are the things that you need to place there? So you have, of course, to explain the reason behind the conduct of the study, which means you have to explain there why is the topic important. So what is known about the topic, and also you have to articulate the gaps, something unknown or something that need to be known. And explain how your current study or how your proposed study will fill this gap. And that's of course the time after explaining that, you will now come up with your statement of the problems or objectives. So you will state your general problem and then your specific problems. So usually in using either specific problems or rather statement of the problems or statement of the objectives, we use a statement of the objectives if it is in form of a declarative, while if it is in a form of interrogative, so we say that it is a statement of the problems. However, I am not telling you that it is wrong to say that the problems are also objectives, because of course this only has something to do with consistency of how we write now the problems. Of course, we do not like that later some of the statements are stated in the declarative form and some are stated in the interrogative form. So as much as possible, we just want that all the problems are stated in terms of, it can be in declarative form or all are stated in interrogative forms. And then for the kind of questions, we can also, or problems, we can also come up with questions that is a qualitative questions or quantitative questions. So it depends now on what is asked. So for qualitative questions, if we are asking for problems or rather for objectives that deals with experiences, observations, or documents that can be gathered now or that can be answered through interview, so it is a qualitative question. However, if we can quantify it, even if we're going to use a qualitative data, then it means that it's already a mixed method. So that's of course a different story. And then for quantitative questions, so our problems now can be either a descriptive or inferential problem. So it is descriptive if the problem now requires descriptive statistics to solve for that problem, and it is inferential problems if it requires inferential statistics for us to solve it. So we are going to come up with some examples of this to have a better picture of how we state or how can we give a statement of the problems or objectives. So for now, Thank you for watching.